This is the best phone under 30,000 rupees right now. So Xiaomi launched the Mi 11X in India at a starting price of 30,000 rupees. This is actually a rebranded Redmi K40 from China. So we have been playing around with this phone for about a week, and spoiler alert, I really like this phone. Hey guys, this is Sharun here from Mashable India, and if you guys are new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and bell icon so that you don't miss out any of our further videos. Now let's start with the build and design of this phone. So we have the black variant of the phone, which looks quite stealthy but is basically a mirror. The phone gets smudges very easily and doesn't look nice after a couple of minutes of use. The Mi 11X comes with Corning Gorilla Glass 5 on the front and back with a plastic frame. The fingerprint sensor is on the power button, which is pretty accurate and fast. The phone comes with a stereo speaker setup and the output is fairly good. There is no 3.5mm headphone jack, but Xiaomi does provide a dongle inside the box, which is, okay. The connectivity with the Bluetooth earphones is spot on. The phone also comes with Air Blaster to control TV, AC or any other supported appliances. It paired with my Daikin AC on the first try and worked without any issues, so I am quite impressed. Also, the punch hole for the front camera is quite small, which is hardly noticeable, so good job Xiaomi. There are minor bezels in the phone, specifically towards the chin of the phone, but it's overall not that bad. It's a quite practical design and I don't have any major complaints about it. Now let's talk about one of the best features of this phone, that is 6.67-inch Full HD Plus 120Hz AMOLED display. With a peak brightness of 1300 nits, there is HDR10 Plus support as well. The display is amazing. It's very smooth, vibrant and pretty bright. The phone supports HDR in Netflix and Prime Video. Gaming on this display also felt good, majorly because of the 360Hz touch sampling rate. Also, the major reason for such good performance on this phone is the Snapdragon 870. In my opinion, Snapdragon 870 is the best Android processor right now in the market. That is majorly because Snapdragon 888 has some thermal issues, unlike the 870. So 870 is a safer option at a much cheaper price. So to test out Snapdragon 870, I ran a lot of tests, starting off with gaming. So I tested PUBG on Ultra HD graphics with ultra frame rates. That's the maxed out setting that is possible on PUBG Mobile. The game ran flawlessly. There was no frame drops, no heating issue, amazing performance. So to test out the throttling on this phone, I ran Antutu benchmark 4 times consecutively, and here are the results. So as we can see, there is no major score drops, which indicates sustained performance. I also ran CPU throttle test for 45 minutes and the results are pretty good. Moving on to the cameras of the phone. So the phone comes with a 48 megapixel IMX582 with an aperture of f1.79. The major thing missing over here is no OIS. There is also an 8 megapixel ultra wide angle lens and a 5 megapixel telemacro lens. Here are some camera samples from the phone. The primary 48 megapixel sensor is okay, but it's not spectacular. It gets the job done. There is definitely noise in some shots, majorly because of the primary sensor not having optical image stabilization. The phone had to compensate with higher ISOs. Moving to daylight shots, which to be frank are difficult to mess up nowadays. Frankly, the Sony IMX582 is showing its age here. It's over 2 years old sensor. The processor can handle 4K 60 FPS, but the sensor cannot. So we do not have the capability of shooting 4K 60 FPS videos on this phone. It is the same sensor that Xiaomi uses on the Redmi Note 10. The 12,000 rupees phone has the same sensor as the 30,000 rupees Xiaomi phone. Disappointing. Nevertheless, here's the 4K 30 FPS video sample. Moving on to ultra wide angle lens, it's good when there is ample light, so in daytime it's pretty good. But when it comes to low light, the output is very noisy. The photos are not acceptable, it is not usable. It's more of a novelty thing in low light. Let's talk about a little more interesting lens, and that is the 5 megapixel telemacro. You can get some really interesting shots with the telemacro. It's 2x zoom, so there is no distortion while shooting a macro shot, and the results can be very impressive. So the camera performance of this phone is average to say the least. With Xiaomi phone, you expect some fundamentals like OIS in the primary sensor, which is missing. The primary sensor is so old that a 20,000 rupees Meet an Eye and a 21,000 rupees Redmi Note 10 Pro Max has better sensors than the 30,000 rupees Mi 11X. Yeah, I am disappointed with the camera performance, but this looks like the major cost cutting department for Xiaomi in this price point. Okay, so the Mi 11X comes with MIUI 12 out of the box with Android 11. There are some pre-installed apps, but all of them can be uninstalled. Also, I haven't encountered any ads in the UI, so most probably Xiaomi has learnt its lessons. I've always liked MIUI majorly because of some really interesting customization options like the new control center, the always on display customizations, the very interesting live wallpapers, and the option of using apps in floating window for better multitasking. Yes, I do prefer MIUI over stock Android or any other UI, and that is majorly because of so many customization options, and the MIUI version on this phone is daily driver worthy. Talking about using it as my daily driver, the phone comes with 4520 mAh battery which supports 33 watt charging, and the phone also supports power delivery 3.0. The charging speeds are pretty good. The phone went from 0 to 50% in less than 23 minutes and 100% in less than 1 hour. The battery life on this phone is good. I was able to use it for the entire day with using it on 120Hz. If you have the 120Hz option, you should use it. Overall, I am really impressed with the Mi 11X. Xiaomi has done a very good job at bringing this phone at 30,000 rupees in India. Yes, I would have liked better primary sensors, but we cannot get it all. The great display and the great performance compensate for the compromise we have to make with the camera performance. This is the best phone under 30,000 rupees right now, and I think we're done for the day.